All right, in this video, we're going to go over three sets of cars that you should avoid buying in the used market. So these cars are dropping in price, so the price might be tempting for some car buyers. They're going to be around 5 to 10K or 12, depending on the year, make, and model. So these are going to be three sets of cars that you should avoid buying in the used market. All right, so we're going to start with number one here. So why I've listed all these is because they'll have the most problematic component in their car is going to be the most expensive component in their car. So that's why we're trying to avoid that failure when it comes down to owning that car. So if any of these components fail while you're owning that car, then you're going to be out for thousands of dollars to get that fixed. So that's what we're trying to avoid. All right, so number one is going to be any Nissan with the CVT transmissions. So a lot of car owners neglect their changing their engine oil. So imagine the neglection when it comes to transmission fluid, and these CVT transmissions are really sensitive to dirty transmission fluid. So it's recommended to be done at around 30 to 40,000 kilometers. So, but even at that, it's you could have a high chance of CVT failure. So we're gonna start with this guy over here. So it's the Sentra with the CVT. Lots of failures on those. If you see some online for sale, a lot of them are gonna be reduced price just because they'll say that the transmission has failed and will need a new transmission with the programming. So next up, Versa, same thing. Altima, Cube, Juke, and the Rogue. So I believe they all share that CVT transmission. Some variations, I think, with the Cube and the Rogue. I'm not too sure. Sorry, the Cube and the Juke. But they all have the same problem where CVT transmission failures at as early as 80,000 kilometers, and then above 100,000 kilometers, then it's almost going to be a guaranteed failure. Even so, they recommend to change it, like I said before, at 30 to 40,000 kilometers with the filter and the transmission fluid, just to keep it up to date. But even at that, there's a high chance that it fails just because how they're designed and all. So the symptoms are going to be high rev, so about 3,000 to 4,000 RPMs, and then your car is not really going anywhere, or jerking when you're trying to shift as well. So when these work great, they're really smooth transmissions, but then as soon as they have problems, it's over. And I'm not too sure if there's any shops that rebuild these CVT transmissions. You're going to have a lot of shops refusing you to rebuild these. So the only solution for these is a complete CVT replacement. So that's around $7,000 if you get it from the dealer, and that's including the programming. So that's why it is it's a car that you need to avoid in the used market, in the used car market, just because we're trying to avoid this bill and it could fall on anyone. And some, if you have no choice but to buy any of these Nissans, I would recommend to get ones that have a brand new CVT transmission inside. So some of them will replace the CVT transmissions, and with a brand new CVT, if you're not going to keep the car for long, they're actually a pretty good car to own. They have a few other not many problems with anything else, but if you have a brand new CVT with it, and these engines, the 1.8 liter on these are really good. They don't leak a lot of oil. They don't have many coolant leaks in those cars. So that's the plus for any of these Nissans. So if you do end up having one with a brand new CVT, then sometimes it's a pretty good buy. Especially some of them will even drop to the price. They'll be around 3,000, 4,000, even with a brand new CVT. So if you have no choice, then for sure you could go ahead and get that. And then if you're going to keep the car for long, then stay on top of the transmission fluid changes, and you'll be good to go. All right, next up we have the Kia and Hyundais. So we have the problematic 2-liter engine as well as the 2.4. So all the cars that are listed here have all the cars here have the 2-liter, and then the cars on the right side have the 2.4 liters. So we have the Seltos. These are actually, I think they're 2021 and up. So even at that year, their Kia is still putting the problematic 2-liter engine inside. So we have the next up Soul, Forte. I forgot which generation is that. That's around 2010. Forte as well, 2021. These ones are the 2022 model, and these are, I believe, 2014 to 2018. These ones, and the Hyundai matching car, which is the Elantra. So the Elantra with the 2-liter. Some of these, the Forte and the Elantra, will actually come in a 1.8 as well. These aren't so problematic. It's just the 2-liter that we need to avoid. So they'll have spun, I think it's a main bearing or a rod bearing that spins on cylinder number 4. I'm not too sure. Just the way they're designed, the rod bearings, they starve of oil, and then you'll get a loud knocking noise on cylinder number 4 or 3. I forgot what it was. So the warranty for Kia, it's going to be a brand new short block on these. So depending, I think when I worked at the Kia dealership, I think it was 10 years since. So if you have a Forte up to 10 years old, then you would get a free replacement of just the engine block. So this is where it gets complicated, where they do not cover, the warranty does not cover the cylinder head. So if your cylinder head has been warped and will need resurfacing, then it's going to be on the customer's dime. So the customer is going to have to pay the resurfacing of the cylinder head. All right. And yeah, sometimes the cylinder head is fine, and they'll just, the technician is going to be the one just to clean it, put on the new head gasket, put on the new head bolts, and then ship the car when it's all done. So at my dealership, when I used to work there, they were doing these between the 2-liter and the 2.4. I think they were doing five or six per week of these. So they were really high failure. We have even had some that had perfect oil change records, and still they would fail. So the same story goes with the 2.4. So this one, so the 2-liter does noise, a lot of knocking noise, low-end knocking noise when it's failing, but you could still run your car for a long time. The 2.4 actually fails with no warning. Sometimes they'll just, the engine will seize completely. So the 2.4, we've had customers that kept them stranded just because they fail, without any warning. So they'll have the 2.4 will be shared with the Sonata, Tucson. This one is the Santa Fe, the Sorento. So the Sorento with the 2.4. The Sorento will come also in 3.3. They're not great either. What we've had, I've seen problems with these as well. This is the 2.4 Optima, and lastly the Sportage. So yeah, so for the warranty, these are covered under warranty for depending on the condition. So it's either a check engine light or loud noise. The check engine light has to be for a knock sensor for it to cover under warranty. I don't remember the specifics, but we did at my dealership, we replaced these. So the whole unit, the short block and the cylinder head, completely for most of these cars here. So the most problematic one was this guy, the Kia Optima. So not only it have like engine problems, we had some with transmission problems, coolant leaks, oil leaks, you name it. These always needed 4 calipers. I can't remember a time where Optima came in and didn't need any calipers while doing a brake job. They always need 4 calipers. We even ran out of the supplier that we get our parts from even ran out of calipers because we kept ordering too many Optima calipers. They kept seizing every time we did a brake job. So just going in to compress the piston, and they would never compress. So, and I remember a time where the Optima, it's like we had 8 lifts in our dealership, and seven was Optimas. So that's how you know how problematic these cars are. We had 7 Optimas on a given day. 7 Optima out of 8 lifts that were in the shop. So these are really problematic with everything they have. When they drive, when everything works well, they drive pretty nice, but just avoid them at all costs. These are going to cost you so much money just to get it running right. And same thing goes for all the other models. The 2.4 liter will fail without any warning. Even if you did have, really good oil change service intervals, but you just never know. The least problematic out of the 2.4s was the Sportage. For some reason, we've only replaced a few of these 2.4 liter Sportage. I don't know why they don't fail as often as the other ones, but the highest failure one is going, like the highest failure rate is going to be the Optima. So avoid that at all cost. All right, next up is the 1.4 liter turbo engine from Chevrolet. So these have problematic turbo. So you'll get cracked turbo pretty often with these, even with the OEM turbo, low boost codes, and so on. So the 1.4 liter turbo engine is going to be shared with the Cruise, the Sonic, the Trax, as well as the, which one is this? It's the Encore, Buick Encore. So all these have the problematic 1.4 liter engine, and like I said, you'll run into cracked turbos, low boost, misfires, and all that. So avoid these cars with the 1.4 liter engine. They also come in a 1.8 liter engine, which is also problematic because I own one of these too. And so not only you'll run into cracked turbo problems, but they have a bunch of oil leak problems, which you're gonna have to fix, and coolant leaks as well. And for like a regular car owner that if you don't do your own repairs, then these are gonna cost you, thousands, like every year probably, just to get this thing running right, and with all the other issues as well. The only good thing about these cars is probably just the suspension. That's pretty solid. That's it. You're probably just gonna have to do links at some point, but the suspension on these last a really good time. But other than that, prepare yourself to fix a lot of coolant leaks as well as oil leaks, and you're gonna have to pay mechanics to do these. So oil pan reseal, valve cover, oil pump, what's it called, timing covers, rear main seals, crankshaft seal, cam seals, like you name it. It's gonna cost you a lot of money. So just avoid any of these cars if you see them in the used market. The prices are gonna be pretty attractive, but it's gonna put a dent in your wallet. So if you could avoid all these and just get a Toyota at a similar price, or even a Honda, or even a Mazda, then you won't run into any of these issues. Because even these, before 100,000 kilometers, they require so much work compared to like a Mazda, Honda, or even Toyota. So save your money, or put in an extra $1,000 or $2,000 or even $3,000 and get yourself a better Toyota, Honda, or even Mazda. So you won't have to run into any of these repairs. So even if you do your own repairs, it's just, you're gonna be buying parts a lot. The car's gonna be down for a day or two, depending on what repair you need. So yeah. So all right. So these are gonna be all the cars. It's 3 sets of cars that are problematic that you should avoid in the used market. So if you see any of these, just turn the other way. And like I said, just go for Toyota, Honda, and Mazda, and you're gonna be all good to go. All right. that's going to be it for this short video. Hope you guys find it helpful. Hope you guys find it valuable. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.